everyone, welcome back to my channel. Welcome to my channel if you're new here, which you probably are. My name is Sandy, and today I'm going to be filming the part 2 version of the Black Lives Matter movement, but this time I'm going to be talking about the influencer side of things. So since this is when it comes to influencers, it's a very touchy subject because of people that stand them and people that hate them. Just overall, these are all my personal opinion. I'm not targeting this for a specific person. This is more of a thing that I see overall with all the social media. So yeah, don't come for me, please. I'm a small YouTuber. Okay, so I feel like the Black Lives Matter movement can be talked about over and over again with multiple part series, just diving deep with every single subject and every single thing that the Black community had to go through. But I don't know if I'm going to make more of this kind of series, but I still want to be talking about this, just not in video format. I'm gonna be talking about this whether that's in the description box or what I was doing before, where I was going to what is it called do kind of a brand or influencer shout out, where I talk about the influencer or the person that I enjoy at that moment. So with that being said, let's get started. I know I said I was going to be posting every 5 days, but I couldn't keep up and I was just not motivated to do that. So I decided to take it kind of easier on myself and just kind of give myself a more of a layout with my filming so I can keep on track and actually post. I think I'm going to be posting every Monday and Friday. Try to do 2 right now, but if I feel like that's too much for me, I'll go down to 1. And if I feel like I could do more, I'll just spice it up within the days that I'm not. This video, which is not going to be part of my filming schedule, but it is going to be put out there probably tomorrow, but it's going to be out here. And the next video is going to be on Monday at 12 p.m. Central Time for me, and I will list everything, details down below. Okay, it's already been 2 minutes, so let's get started. The Black Lives Matter video, this is not going to be edited in any sort of way, so I can get my thoughts out there and not have to edit this down, because I want to show that you can make mistakes, and that's how you can learn from your mistakes and grow as a person and become a better human in the long run. Okay, so let's get started with the Black Lives Matter movement. And okay, the Black Lives Matter movement is very popular right now. That sounds gross when it's coming out, but it's the headline news right now, and a lot of YouTubers, Instagrammers, or just influencers, celebrities in general are going to these protests to help and uplift the community. But some of the influencers are not doing that. Instead, they're using the Black Lives Matter movement to be used for their own good and basically exploiting the movement. One of the examples of this is, I don't know her name, I don't need to know her name. One of an Instagram girl I had something in my mouth. Went to a protest, had her friend take a photo of her nailing a Black Lives Matter movement board onto a building. When she was done taking that photo, she just hopped on right out of there and just left. That's not what the Black Lives Matter is meant to be. It's not meant for you to be publicizing yourself and to make yourself be known to the world as kind of a hero in sort of means. This can also be said about Madison Beer. Madison Beer, if you don't know, is mainly known for being found or Justin Bieber found her. That's basically what she was known for, and she is like a very beautiful person. She was recently at a protest, and the paparazzi took a photo of her standing on top of a car holding up a Black Lives Matter sign. That was like, when you see that, it's like, oh great, people are actually talking about this and people are getting the word out there about Black Lives Matter. But like, when you think about it, why would there are multiple celebrities who are going to these protests, right? They're like, Ariana Grande is going to this, and when you put their popularity side by side, Ariana Grande is more popular than Madison Beer. I'm not downsizing Madison Beer's career because she still has like a singing career that people still like to listen to her music, but I'm just saying Ariana Grande is more of a celebrity than she is. So why aren't the paparazzi going to Ariana Grande, who would get them more views and more clicks than Madison Beer? It just doesn't fit and it doesn't make sense. The whole point of the Black Lives Matter movement is to uplift the Black community, and by these influencers and celebrities taking advantage of the thing, it's more like they're trying to put themselves above the Black community. And that's like, when it comes to Instagram and uploading photos of like, whether it's at protests or like protests mainly, it's like different for when, depending on their race, because this whole movement is about race. And we can't just say like, we shouldn't make race about everything, but in fact life is all like, right now this movement is about race and how the races are being put against each other, and one is obviously better than the other. Okay, so when you think about it this way, when a Black person posts on Instagram about with them being at a protest and holding up like putting up Black Lives Matter things, it's perceived, is that a word? Perceived differently than if like a white person was doing the same thing. Because when a Black person does it, it's more like they're trying to uplift their own community and trying to put a message out there. But when a white person is doing it, it seems like they're trying to have the center of attention on themselves, and that's not right. This whole thing is about the Black community, not about you trying to like get popularity from this. Because the Black Lives Matter movement is not a trend. You shouldn't just see that it's popular right now and hop on, and when this whole movement stops being headline news, you just hop back out. And that's not okay to me, because we should keep on talking about this over and over again, and across all social media, not just like Twitter and Instagram, because it should be talked more on YouTube, and it's not. Of course, people were posting about the Black Lives Matter movement on YouTube when it was trending, but now you barely see it anymore, and it's depressing, and it's so sad to see. And you can't just, this is not a thing that's gonna just stop with in 2 weeks. This is a long-term thing. This thing has been going on since slavery. And if you think about it, that long of like racism, prejudice, and hatred towards the Black community, and with the Black community being perceived as lower than everyone else, the situation is not going to be dissolved with people being just saying Black Lives Matter. It takes work to actually get to that point. It takes a lot of self-healing, not self-healing, I mean like looking into yourself and actually knowing that you're going to be anti-racist and educating yourself, and like just when every single update about the Black Lives Matter movement and when new information comes out about this, it's up to you to educate yourself and not just say like, oh, I'm not racist, so it's okay. No, it's okay. Like, I know it's like, I'm in a part of like an Asian household where it's kind of like microaggressions is with the tone of in my Asian household, the tone where like towards the Black community is not great. There are my like in my household, microaggressions towards Black community is almost perceived as normal. Mainly, I feel like that's mainly for like Asians in general, where we are so used to being a part of our own community, because I was born in China, so over there, you don't see a lot of color other than yourself. When you are when you were when you're living in that environment for so long, and you come here to the United States where there's so much diversity, you're not used to it. So when your parents talk about says these like little microaggressions towards the other races, your brain kind of twisted it into like, oh, it's normal to think that way, but it's not, because microaggressions are part of all of us. I've received it, and I've probably said it at some point in my life, and it's like it just becomes so normalized. And if microaggressions are not like as more perceived as racism, and when people are racist straight on, you get called out for it. But when it's like little microaggressions, people don't catch on so easily, so you can be like blended in and like not take notice as easily as if you were like full on racist. But when you have these thoughts of like racist things that you think of, like when you were little, have you seen those like TV shows or like videos where a little child is like pull like, okay, how do I describe this? And an adult puts different pictures of different kids with like across different races to like the little child and says, which one's the bad kid? And you see these children pointing towards the Black child, and when asked why, they're like, oh, because they don't look like me, or like they don't have an answer for that. And when you think back to it, like these little thoughts in your head, you got to look deep in yourself, like where did that thought come from, and why do I think that way, and how can I get rid of it? Because it's not just, I know I'm rambling, I'm sorry, but like it's not just like I don't think I'm racist. I have all of these I have Black friends, so that means I'm not racist. Like, no, like Jeffree Star has black friends, but he's still a racist. It's not just who you surround yourself with, it's about looking into yourself that makes you a better person, if that makes any sense. I rambled way too long for that one, I'm so sorry. Okay, now let's talk about, okay, for the longest time, like everyone was taught, like many in the Asian community is to be taught, and still to this day, the beauty standard in the Asian community is to look white. And in the United States, it has been that way too in the past. But now, as Kim Kardashian has come out with like the tan skin, and like she basically set another beauty standard on top of that, where it's more popularized right now to be tan than stark white, if you know. So like some of these influencers are taking tanning to a whole nother extreme, Kim Kardashian being one of them, because she is white. You couldn't tell by just looking at her, but she is white. Like for some time, I would contemplate to myself, like, is Kim Kardashian white or is she mixed? Like, I was like, she took her tanning to a whole new extreme where she looks like a whole different race. And this has been going on for not for so long, but like this trend of tanning has become way too popularized and way too in our face, where we think like, oh, I need to go darker. Like, for example, Emma Hallberg, she is a white girl, and she was very famous on Instagram because she looked Black, and she got all these business opportunities because of her skin color and because she looked Black. But when we found out that she wasn't Black, she was called out for blackfishing and just trying to be a different race. It's not just her. It's like you can be white and still look white after a tan? Why go so many shades darker than your skin tone where you look like a different race? I get that if that's what you like, okay, but like looking like a different race is not okay. Like people take it way too far. And with on top of like the blackfishing thing, right now it's like it was a trend on. There are so many Instagram trends and makeup trends that has been happening. Like when the Australian forest fires was going up, people were drawing on the Australian fires across their face and was smacking like, oh, trend. Like people suffering is not a trend. Forest fires is not a trend. It's a actual event that's happening in our time, and you should be, instead of painting on your face, why not donate? Why not use your platform for the good? Like right now, the makeup trend was to paint the "I can't breathe" across their mouth or like their throat to show like Black Lives Matter and to basically like support. It was their way of supporting the Black community. I mean, I can see the intention, I guess, was good, but the way that they're doing it could be better. And I would rather see someone just putting up like a whole on notebook pad, like those like influencer apologies, and just talking about the matter rather than taking hours of work like makeup to just paint your face. Why not take hours to just write down your thoughts and how everyone could be contributing and helping and talking and sharing that to your audience of thousands of people, so you can uplift the Black community even more and talk about the situation farther on rather than just painting your face. And it was also a thing where they would draw like half will be like black and half will be white and be like it was supposed to be like, oh, we should unite and stuff like that. But that's blackface. That's blackface. Like, what are you doing? That's not supporting. They were using that as like to support the Black community. Like the things and the lengths that makeup gurus on Instagram go to just to be trendy or to like get followers and get views is incredible to me. By incredible, that's not a good thing. And then enough of like Instagram. Let's talk about the YouTube aspect and YouTubers. Majority of YouTubers, you will see them talking about the Black Lives Matter movement on like Twitter, Instagram, Snapchat, and all these places. Hold on. It's fine. And all these places, but like when I go on their YouTube channel, there's no mention of it. There's not even a YouTube description box mention of it. They don't even list like the places you can go to donate, the places you can go to sign petitions and stuff like that. Why doesn't the YouTubers share this event that's happening in our timeline that will forever go down in history on their main platform and talk about it to their main audience? Whereas if you like talking about it on Instagram, Twitter, and Snapchat, that's not where your main following is. Your main following is on YouTube, and YouTube is the place you should be talking about it and not just like putting it out there for like the minor like social medias that you have. Talk about it. I'm not saying don't talk about it on Twitter and stuff like that. Of course, don't talk about it, but talk about it on YouTube too. If you're getting millions of views on your YouTube channel, imagine how much interest, how many people will be interested in you talking about the Black Lives Matter movement. Because it's not just your main audience anymore when you talk about this topic. It's also like the Black community will also be looking at this and seeing like, oh, this person is helping to uplift us, and this person is helping to like take our voices out there. Majority of these influencers that are not talking about this on YouTube are white, and that's like, that's not helping. I have a main person I'm thinking about right now, and I'm like, I don't even want to talk about it, but like, I just don't understand. Your main following is on YouTube, and you don't talk about it on YouTube. How does that make sense? Of course, there's still some good that's happening here, but oh wait, okay, hold on. Also for YouTube, there was a little time a while ago where YouTube CEO, or like the YouTube in general, was not taking down like Black Lives Matter posts and videos, which is sad to see. And there were like, sorry, some YouTubers were specifically putting a lot of ads in their video to collect the ad revenue to donate to Black Lives Matter movement, because that's also a way to donate. But there, like, when you click on some of them, there should be more ads than there is on there for that kind of thing, if you understand. I know I'm not explaining everything so right. I mean, so great, but like, I feel like YouTube is taking out these videos and then not allowing ads to play on some of the Black Lives Matter videos. It's just showing a whole new side of who's running it and why and what they're doing with the Black Lives Matter movement. It's not great, and it's not a good look for YouTube in general to be doing that, but I digress. Okay, back to Instagram. There was a Instagram donation challenge. I'm pretty sure it's still going on. It was made by Tony Adeyemi. I'm sorry if I said it wrong. It's basically where you use a filter that has like the places that you can donate to, that is like a random selection. Then you use that filter, then you tag like 5 friends, then you donate to whatever charity that the thing lands on, and post the receipts, because this is not a time to say like, oh, I did it, but really you're just saying that for clout. And then, okay, so yeah, post the receipts and then tag those same 5 friends again. It's pretty easy. A lot of people are doing it, like Manny MUA, and I don't remember who else, but I'm pretty sure a lot of people are doing it. It's a great like challenge where people are still looking good on social media and also helping a great cause and uplifting the Black community. So I strongly advise you, if you have the means to do this challenge, I strongly advise you to do it. So yeah. And I'm just gonna talk about some YouTubers have donated to the cause. I specifically looked for the YouTubers that actually said the amount that they're donating, instead of the YouTubers that said like, oh, I donated, and not specifically tell us how much they donated. Sorry. Okay, so David Dobrik donated $50,000, and My Pam donated $1,433.37 Canadian dollars, or $1,055.02 US dollars, whichever way you want to think about it. Those are the only YouTubers I found that actually saw the amount that they donated. Of course, there are many people that probably donated that they just didn't tell us, which is perfectly fine. There were, like, of course, a lot of YouTubers are also, like I said before, donating all their ad revenue to the Black Lives Matter movement, which is also a good thing. I mean, it's a way for them to donate and to also put the word out there. And there have been, I've seen some like YouTube lives where you can, like during the YouTube lives, you can donate to like the influencer in themselves, and then that influencer, when they get the check for it, they will donate to like a specific charity that they set their mind on. So either way, influencers are still helping to do this. However, the people that are donating, I see, are like kind of smaller influencers. The bigger influencers, of course, some of them are still donating, but like Jeffree Star, James Charles, calling you out, like Laura Lee, Nikita Dragon, maybe? I don't really watch her videos yet, so like if I'm wrong, I'm sorry. But like those three influencers, I have looked on their Twitter, Instagram, and they have talked about the Black Lives Matter movement. And this is what I mean, right? When I said that YouTubers don't talk about it on the main platform, this is what I mean. They talked about it on every single social media that they had except for YouTube. Like, I follow James on YouTube, and I also follow him on Twitter. He talks about Black Lives Matter on Twitter a lot, and when I go to his YouTube channel, it's nowhere to be found. His statements, his like the ways that people can help and the ways that people can contribute, it's nowhere to be found on the description box or just in the videos themselves. It's also for Shane Dawson too. He strongly talks about it on Twitter, but when you come to his YouTube channel, of course, he doesn't post anymore. The recent video, there is nowhere to be found on where to people can contribute. And that's what just like really grinds my gears. James Charles is the biggest beauty influencer on YouTube. And he could easily, if he went on live, get so much money for charities and like donating, but he doesn't do that. Like, of course, if he donates outside of YouTube and just didn't tell us, that's still a good thing. But like, he could be doing so much more with his audience. His audience, like all these influencers' audience, love them. So if they see that they're doing something good, they would easily spend money on him, with them. And it's just so upsetting to see that these YouTubers could be doing more, but they're just not. And all for, like, it's just, even if it's like the ad revenue thing, it's just one video where you just like talk about it and the ad revenue will go to that one. It's just one video out of the hundreds you'll make in the future. So why not just take the time and donate when you have the ability to do so? Like, there are so many people that don't have the means to donate their money right now, and just watching their favorite YouTubers video and just watching their favorite YouTubers video and notice and just like, and they're also donating their ad revenue. All they have to do is just watch the ads and feel like they're doing something to contribute. And I don't know, I don't even have words to say anymore. Like right now, there are like still, I can't keep talking about the negative side. Of course, there are still thousands of YouTubers and millions of YouTubers that are actually helping the cause. And of course, some of them are bound to be some YouTubers that you don't like. This is a bigger cause than your own hatred of a YouTuber right now. And if you hate a YouTuber and they're donating their ad revenue to a cause, or like said one view, one donation, that kind of thing, why not just watch that one video for the cause? This is a time to put your differences aside and just do what's right, because the Black Lives Matter movement is a bigger cause than your own hatred of a certain person. If that certain person is doing something good at the moment, you should support them and just support them this one time for the cause. Like, I'm not the biggest fan of, let's say, Jeffree Star. If he has a video that is like saying all the ad revenue is going to be donated to Black Lives Matter, I would watch that one video just so I can feel like I'm contributing, because I'm one of the people that don't have the means to donate. And watching a free video on your phone and watching like a 15-second ad and doing that little can be like, that ad revenue is donated to a good cause. That just, you're doing so little to contribute, and even that little effort that you put in is still being put into a good cause. And why don't you want to feel good by doing something that you were already going to do in the first place? I mean, I think I talked about this enough. And just overall, stay educated on the topic. There will be probably new information coming out, so on and so forth. So just educate yourself and talk about it even more. I will have a video up by Monday, and in that video I didn't talk about, like, I forgot to talk about a brand or an influence black brand, oh my god, a black owned brand, or like a black influencer that I liked in that one. So I'm just going to be putting in the description box, because that video is already filmed, and this, like, that portion of the video is fairly new at this point. So I just want to get into like the groove of things and actually remember to talk about it in the videos. So this is the part of the video where I say that there's a bunch of information in the description box, and all the different brands that you can support, like black owned brands you can support, whether that's makeup, hair, shaving, body care, hair care. It's all down there. And petitions to sign, playlists, places to donate to, and all that's down below. And there's probably going to be like a huge description box thing where I talk about my thoughts still and just ramble on even more. Okay, I think that's it. So remember to like and subscribe. Follow my social media, which is in the description box down below. I can never say that. Which is in the description box down below. And remember to wear protection, and I love you all. Bye!